In a divided Italy, where the Pope was not only a spiritual leader but also the absolute ruler of the Papal States, one man would change the course of history. His name was Rodrigo Borgia, and his reign transformed the Vatican into a center of conspiracies, wars, and betrayals. He was neither a saint nor a martyr, but an unyielding strategist. Under his rule, the Church ceased to be merely a symbol of faith, and instead became a throne of iron and blood. Whether you are Catholic or simply curious about the truth behind the Church that dominated Western civilization, let me tell you this story of power and religion. A Night of Forbidden Indulgence, Rome, 1501. The moon filters through the high windows of the Apostolic Palace, casting elongated shadows over golden frescoes. Beneath the silent vaults of the Vatican, a forbidden banquet unfolds. 50 torches burn against the stone walls, illuminating an unimaginable scene. Naked courtesans crawl across the marble floor, gathering scattered chestnuts as laughter and complicit whispers echo through the hall. Cardinals and noble guests applaud and compete to see who can commit the most carnal sins in a single night. At the head of the main table, clad in a scarlet robe with a cunning gaze, Pope Alexander VI watches the debauchery unfold without a hint of discomfort. Behind him, the Borgia family crest, a golden bull rampant, adorns the wall, silently presiding over the revelry. By his side, his son Cesare Borgia smiles with satisfaction, raising a goblet of wine, possibly laced with who knows what. It is said that by the end of the evening, awards were given, fine silks and jewels, to the men who sinned the most with the courtesans. No one dares question the presence of the Vicar of Christ at the infamous banquet of the chestnuts. In this Renaissance Rome, papal power is drenched in both scandal and grandeur. How did the Church descend into this abyss of dark splendor? To understand, we must go back a few years, to the beginning of one of the most controversial pontificates of the Renaissance. A throne, one with gold and cunning. August 1492, Vatican City. In the dimly lit Sistine Chapel, 23 cardinals whisper among themselves, conspiring as the fate of the Church hangs on their votes. Cardinal Rodrigo Borgia, 61 years old, waits with hands clasped and a faint, confident smile. He knows that power is not asked for, it is taken. And he has spent decades preparing for this moment. The nephew of a former pope, Calixtus III, Rodrigo learned early on that in Rome, sanctity without cunning is defeated by intrigue. So, he has turned the conclave into his own chessboard. Rumors abound that he has bought votes with gold and promises. To Ascanio Sforza, a formidable rival, he offers nothing less than the lucrative position of papal vice-chancellor and 4 mules laden with silver to seal the deal. Other cardinals receive bishoprics, fiefdoms, and immeasurable favors in exchange for their support. He is not the only one trying to secure the papal throne. His opponent, Cardinal Giuliano della Rovere, has 200,000 ducats financed by the King of France to bribe electors. But Rodrigo plays his hand better. On August 11th, 1492, his name resounds victorious. Rodrigo Borgia is elected pope, taking the name Alexander VI. The rise of the Borgia dynasty. At first, Alexander VI surprises many by ruling with unexpected discipline, administering justice with a firm hand. Rome appears to breathe a newfound order, but the mask soon falls. The temptation to secure his family's power is too great for the ambitious Valencian. He follows the unwritten maxim of so many pontiffs before him. The Pope's family must be strengthened at all costs. Without shame, he begins bestowing wealth and titles upon his illegitimate children, whom he publicly refers to as his nephews. His eldest son, Juan Giovanni Borgia, receives the title of Duke of Gandia, an ancestral domain in Spain. But his greatest affection is reserved for Cesare Borgia, just 17 years old, whom he names Archbishop of Valencia, one of the Church's richest sees, as if handing a child a toy. The following year, in 1493, he shocks Europe by making Cesare a cardinal at just 18. Never before had a prince of the Church received the red hat at such a young age. But Alexander defends his decision with an impenetrable smile. "Is my son not worthy to serve God?" he asks. That same year, Alexander also elevates Alessandro Farnese, the brother of his mistress, Julia Farnese, to the rank of cardinal. The halls of the Vatican buzz with gossip. The Pope makes cardinals of his children, and his mistress's brother, people murmur, horrified and fascinated. But no one dares to oppose him openly. The successor of Peter controls the College of Cardinals, now filled with his loyal creatures. Blood in the Tiber. By 1497, Rome is shaken by a mysterious crime. The body of Juan Borgia, Duke of Gandia, is found floating in the dark waters of the Tiber, his throat slashed. The news spreads like wildfire. The Pope collapses upon seeing his son's lifeless body. In Castel Sant'Angelo, he locks himself away, weeping inconsolably, tearing at his hair. For days, he does not emerge from his chambers. Chroniclers report that for the first time, Alexander VI considers reforming the Church and his own life. Even his enemies feel a pang of sympathy, seeing the Holy Father suffering as any mortal father would. But after the mourning comes the questions. Who committed such a gruesome act? In the streets of Rome, a name is whispered: Cesare. Speculation arises that Cesare Borgia may have eliminated his own brother, either out of envy or ambition, to assure his place as the sole heir to their father's legacy. No proof is ever found, and Alexander VI ensures no serious investigation takes place. But from that moment on, Cesare becomes the center of his father's ambitions. The warrior cardinal. Not long after, Alexander VI grants Cesare his deepest wish. He releases him from his vows of priesthood, with a special dispensation from God, of course. In 1498, Cesare renounces his cardinal's hat. The following year, he departs for France with his partner's blessing. He carries secret letters from Alexander VI to King Louis XII, forging a powerful alliance between Rome and France. The Pope, ever the master strategist, agrees to annul the king's marriage, allowing Louis to remarry in exchange for rewards. In return, Cesare is named Duke of Valentinois, Owen weds a French princess. But that is not all. The French king provides him with troops and weapons, knowing that Cesare will fight under France's banner in Italy. "Father, I will make our name tremble in Italy," Cesare promises. "For the glory of God," Alexander VI replies, then adds, with a knowing smile, "and the Borgias." The Vatican of excess. Meanwhile, in Rome, the indulgence continues. Alexander VI enjoys luxury like any Renaissance prince. He hosts lavish feasts, invites ambassadors and artists, and openly flaunts his love for Giulia Farnese, the stunning young woman nearly 40 years his junior. Rumors swirl that she walks the Vatican gardens arm in arm with the Pope, and even that she once sat her daughter, born of her affair with Alexander, on the Pope's lap during Mass. Truth or gossip, such tales feed the growing legend of the Borgias. Satirical pamphlets circulate in Rome, calling Alexander the whoremonger of the Vatican, and Julia the bride of Christ. Yet the Pope remains unfazed. He continues enriching his family, trusting only them. "Cesare or nothing," he often says, echoing his son's own motto. Their destinies are bound together. Beyond Rome, Italy is ablaze with conflicts. And though Alexander VI is the supreme pontiff, he does not hesitate to act as a shrewd and ruthless statesman when necessary. But in 1494, a new French threat emerges, one that will shake the very foundation of the papacy. And the Borgias' grip on power will be tested as never before. If this video inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And of course, share your experiences in the comments. Together, we can build a strong and positive community. Thank you for joining us on this journey of growth and transformation. See you in the next video.